All right, folks. Fired up, baby. We are back here again tonight on BEG Wrestling to reveal the nightly. We're here every night this week, Kevin, for the nightly weight class rankings reveal show for the Claw Professional Wrestling League. Folks, the draft is held on July 21st. Look up on the screen. It's going to be live from Harrah's Casino in Atlantic City. Also, the host of the New Way Summer Nationals is going to be a lot of wrestlers already there. Come join the party. It's going to be a party. I'm telling you that right now. Going to be streamed live on BEG Wrestling along with several other additional platforms. Folks, I want to show you the GMs. We have 6 general managers who will be drafting snake-style draft, 6 different weight classes, including 2 reserves, 48 total wrestlers will be drafted out of the well over 200 total entries. The general managers include Caden Henschel, number 1 pick, number 2 pick, Giorgio Poulos, number 3 pick, Billy Baldwin, and now updated graphic including co-manager Scotty Sintes, former Campbell Wrestling head coach, now part of the wrestling organization there. Number 5 pick, Anthony Robles. He's a Hollywood superstar. And finally, a rising superstar, number 6 pick, Angelo Ferrari. Kevin is here to break down the 149-pound rankings. Kevin, how you doing, man? Are you excited about tonight?
Yeah, another good weight class to run through with top-notch guys, and I'm looking forward to going through and sharing what we got going so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, folks, last night we broke down the 199-pound weight class rankings. Tonight, we might go a little bit more in depth. We're going to give a little bit more of maybe some of the matchups that we're looking forward to. But, Kevin, if you're ready here, let's do the reveal. You ready? 145 pounds, folks. Here are the entries. Here are the rankings for the Claw Professional Wrestling League. Coming in at number 1, Alan Hart. Number 2, Moshe Schwartz. Number 3, Shannon Hanna. We've all heard of him before. The former BEG Knockout Christmas Classic Dog of the Duel there. Coming in number 4, Zach Sherman. Number 5, John Erneste. Number 6, Zach Donathan. Number 7, Tristan Moran. Number 8, Alonzo Allen. And folks, we just got a breaking news call. Alonzo Allen is actually going to be dropping down a weight class, I believe to 134. So we're going to update that after the show. Alonzo Allen out at 145 in at 134. We'll update it after the show. That bumps up Brandon Wright, who was formerly number 9, now up to number 8. And rounding out your top 10, Dan Fungaro, folks. There it is, Kevin. Give us your synopsis of these rankings, and then we'll go into some matchups for folks. Join the comments.
Yeah, great weight. A lot of NCAA tournament experience in here. Alan Hart was a stud for Missouri there. 2-time blood rounder. And Moshe Schwartz there, round of 16 guy. These two have wrestled a few times, going back and forth with them, so they're not going to be strangers to each other. And then, like you said, Dog of the Year, Shannon Hanna. Unbelievable athletic ability out of this guy. 90 career NCAA wins, 3-time qualifier. I think he's gonna be an interesting factor here with different things that he can really share his athletic ability on, like the pylons and things like that. I think that he's going to be a real interesting factor at this weight. Zach Sherman, this guy, 4-time NCAA qualifier. He had his senior year, he had to wrestle Yanni first round at NCAAs. That was kind of strange since Yanni was the 1 seed, so he had a tough draw there. But Sherman, UNC guy, real tough, lot of experience. And then you got All-American John Ernest, who got 6th place and was around 12, round of 16. And then we dip into the Division II, Zach Donathan, 2-time NCAA Division II national champion.
Very interesting.
This guy's a stud, man. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be real interesting to see how these Division II guys, the couple that we have, have great resumes, and see how they factor in too, and see how they go against Division One guys. Plus you got the rule set that's different. So I'm looking forward to that. Uh, Following him, we got Tristan Moran, another blood rounder. And then, as you said, Alonzo Allen's going down to 134, which he's going to be a big factor at 134, and already a weight that's already really loaded.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see how he's going to do down there, but that's quite the commitment. When did that just happen? They just found that out?
Just before the episode started, folks. We will update the graphic before we post it on social media after the show. But yeah, for purposes of the show, we have an unupdated graphic. I apologize.
Oh no, that's cool, man. It's Brandon Wright, a two-time NAIA national champion, four-time All-American.
Yep.
So I know some people are not familiar with NAIA. Quick story: there's a guy local to me that I won't mention his name, but he was five-time state champ, right? And he had all the D1 schools after him. He struggled in school a little bit. He ended up going down to an NAIA. And this guy was in Yanni's class, and he was, I'm telling you, he was up there. People thought he'd be an All-American right off the bat. He wrestled, made it to the NAIA Nationals, and he only took fourth his freshman year. I say only because people thought he might do that in Division One, but what I'm trying to say is there is tough guys in each division for sure, and Brandon Wright is one of those guys. If I was to pick one guy out of NAIA, Brandon Wright would definitely be the guy I'd pick to have in here. So that you got in this bracket alone. You got a two-time NAIA and a two-time Division II to go along with the rest of the guys.
Oh, it's fascinating, man. And I mean, Dan Fungaro that round out your top 10. But yeah, Kevin, I want to talk just briefly about some matchups here in this that I'm looking forward to. And you mentioned the intrigue with the two-time NAIA champion Brandon Wright and Zach Donathan, the two-time D2 champion. To me, those are your most intriguing wrestlers within this. And if I just had that to say, but if you go simple matchups, okay, I'm sorry, I have to go back to my number one. I want to see Alan Hart, which, by the way, Alan Hart won the 2024 Claw Invitational. So Alan Hart is an accoladed Claw wrestler, well-deserved number one seed, but he's got to go up against maybe potentially Shannon Hanna. Okay, Shannon Hanna, he was the dog of the duel, also a two-time SoCon champ. Shannon Hanna, okay, if there's a number 3 ranked wrestler in any weight class here, well, now you could argue 199. The third rank could get drafted first, or the third ranked wrestler in that weight class could win it all. 145 is right there. Shannon Hanna, I mean, a second round, third round, if he does fall to the third round, that would be an absolute steal. I want to see him up against Alan Hart. Another Alan Hart matchup that I want to see would be, John Ernest? Maybe I said his name wrong the first time, Kevin. No. But the two Missouri guys going up against each other, right? A little Missouri clash. Yeah. Maybe found that intriguing. But let's go to you, man, and then I'll kind of round out some of my final matchups that I was looking at.
Missouri's represented real well in this in Claw, which is great because Missouri's got such strong guys. I mean, it's crazy when you look at the alumni at Missouri the past decade or so. There's so many guys that come to mind, and it's Alan Hart's one of those guys. He's a real scrapper, and I agree with you. I'm curious to see. Like you said, the Zach Donathan and Brandon Wright, how do they match up against the Division I guys? And they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, of course. And you can't blame them. But I think that, Brandon Wright, he was a Grandview guy too, which I'll tell you what, Grandview, they wrestle a lot of Division I schools on their schedule. In fact, a guy a couple of years ago beat Panero Johnson from Grandview. And they go into a lot of the tournaments that Iowa goes to at the beginning of the year, and they're not your average NAIA school. Sure, I'm also curious I'd love to see Hanna versus Sherman, stylistic wise. Sherman is real stingy on defense, and Shannon Hanna can be very explosive. A lot of high scoring matches we've seen out of him. And I'm just curious to see, if Hannah's offense prevails over Sherman's defense. And Masha Schwartz, I love him and Hart have had some battles, and I definitely can't wait to see them go at it again with the claw rule setting.
Yep.
They scrap, and there's no love lost between those two, and I'm just curious to see how that goes over. But yeah, I cannot wait. This bracket has got guys that want to, like I said, they want to wrestle anytime, anywhere. They're here to wrestle, and I'm pretty excited about this weight. And as we mentioned, 199 was awesome too. If you missed that, check out that episode from yesterday.
Yeah, no, and Kevin, you mentioned a couple people there. Zach Sherman out of North Carolina, but Moshe Schwartz, he's out of Oklahoma. A matchup I'd like to see, like Schwartz up against like Donathan, right? Like a 4-time AA'er up against a 2-time D2 champion, right? Like that would be a match. And stylistically, we don't know. This is not folk style or freestyle. There's a twist to this. Like, I talked a little bit, Kevin, last night about, this is the star of this league is going to be the general managers and just the whole, almost the process of it. But really the star is probably going to be like the sport itself, or a combination of everything. But yeah, you get different styles, and there's going to be different factors that make wrestlers better at claw wrestling, than maybe they were in folk style or freestyle. But
yeah, that's something that, just so everybody knows, if you haven't seen any of the interviews that Zach's done with Tom, it's not as if these guys just sat down one day and said, let's throw a league together and let's just sit here and make up some rules. They went through all this different testing, and they interviewed people, and they had looking into what makes it a great fan experience. They put a lot into this, whereas I would say, RAF they don't really know what the rules are yet, so I want people to understand that there's been a lot of time put into claw already. They've been going for over a year as far as having competitions and stuff. And this has been well thought out. And they wanted to take the best of all the worlds, your best of your freestyle, the best of your folk style, and then add a twist to it that will make it exciting for fans. And it's, I love how they have the action, with quick stall calls, shorter periods. Because
don't even think about stalling. Don't even think about stalling in this league.
Yeah, no way, man. And that's what we want to see. And then sometimes mat wrestling can be dreadful. You get the pylons with the mat wrestling, guys diving for pylons. That's beautiful. And I'm telling you what, watch it. You're gonna love it. And we got guys here that all want to wrestle, and they're we got like Alonzo Allen. He's gonna make the weight cut down to 34. These guys are competitive. They're taking it very seriously, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, all great points, Kevin. Folks, the draft is happening live July 21st, just here in a couple weeks from Harrah's Casino in Atlantic City. If you're a fan of wrestling, you don't have to have a family member a part of this. Look at this. Look at this. Come join the party in Harrah's Casino. Look who just joined the chat, folks. Hot dog, Shannon Hannah. Oh, fired up here. That's what I'm talking about. Shannon Hannah says, I do not deserve to be the number 3 ranked. I should be number 1 ranked. Probably what he is probably saying. But, folks, we're back every night this week. We got 4 more weight classes. Then we're going to figure out you already got a pound for pound. Then we're going to do a mock draft. I'm rounding up. We got Clint from Wrestle Madness. He's going to be a team. Kevin's going to be a team. Right now we got, 3 teams? I think we need 3 other teams to do our mock draft. We're going to do it Sunday live. This Sunday live, we can figure out a time. But, folks, let's go. Let's go. This is Claw Wrestling. Go to WrestleClaw.com. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks for watching tonight. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Kevin. We'll see you later.
Thank you.